Okay, give your stance on how autism controls the population for vaccines.
Well, autism controls the population because, autism changes the way a person thinks. It doesn't make them any less smart. To say that would be ableist and not true, but it makes them think differently in a way that could make them easier to control.
Okay. Now, did you know there's more mercury in a fish than there is in a vaccine? The amount of mercury in a vaccine is so little that it almost doesn't need to be there.
Well, first off, the type of mercury in fish is methyl mercury, while the type of mercury in vaccines is ethyl mercury. And there's actually a lot more mercury in vaccines than they tell us.
Who's they?
The Illuminati.
Alright. Okay. Now, look at this. Why would the Illuminati want to brainwash us?
Well, they would want to brainwash us to make us easier to control. And something they're also doing is they're trying to lower the population. And once the population is lowered enough and they make us easier enough to control, since we outnumber the Illuminati, so they'll need something to make us easier to control. Because what the Illuminati want is power.
Okay. Did you know there's actually no scientific evidence to prove that vaccines cause autism, or that there is that type of mercury, or even that vaccines or mercury would even cause autism in the first place?
Well, actually, there's been a lot of proof, but mysteriously, before people publish it, they always mysteriously turn up dead.
One time.
Look it up.
Then one time.
Well, the website I went to, they didn't disclose the names of the people because that would be rude to the families.
What website?
What?
What website?
Well, it was actually taken down a while back.
Do you remember the name?
I do not remember.
Alright. Now, if aliens have the technology to travel light years in seconds, wipe people's memories, why would they care about us testing nuclear weapons?
Well, they'd care because aliens have been monitoring our progress in case we ever become a threat to them. So, us testing nuclear weapons, that's a big milestone for any civilization, is harnessing nuclear energy. So, if we ever become too big of a threat, they can just wipe us out immediately.
People still believe vaccines cause autism. How would it be a threat in any way?
What? Well, because vaccines do cause autism.
No, they don't. The Illuminati doesn't exist. I'm going to ask you about Chinese nanobots. What's your stance on that?
Well, actually, that was started up first semester by someone who was trying to harass me, and that was just started up by someone who was trying to harass me.
What about the moon landing?
Well, I believe the moon landing was faked, and there's even more proof that the moon landing was fake. Much more proof than the whole vaccines cause autism. Now, that's not to say that vaccines don't cause autism, but the moon landing, it was definitely fake. There's lots of evidence. For example, look at the pictures. Why aren't there any stars?
Why aren't there any stars?
Yes, and it
because it's an old 60s camera, and it doesn't pick up much visible light.
You could take pictures of stars from the Earth with an old 60s camera.
But it's different on the moon.
Yes, because the moon has no atmosphere, which means it should be even easier to see the stars.
No. Why? It costs more money to fake the moon landing than it would actually be able to go to the moon. Try to explain it. Now, what would it take to go to the moon? A rocket.
Yes,
and land it and a rocket back.
Yes.
How much will that cost? What?
Well,
60 million?
Well, you see, the problem is between the Earth and the Moon, there's the Van Allen radiation belt.
So, no one cares.
Well, radiation, let's see, what does radiation give you? Cancer, radiation poisoning, it'll kill you.
That's not what it does.
Radiation kills.
That's not what that is, though.
the Van Allen radiation belts.
That's not what it is.
And the amount of protection they put on the Apollo modules would not be sufficient to protect the astronauts inside from the Van.
You know why? It did. If it were fake, then who did they launch into space on that rocket?
What?
They launched.
It was unmanned. Clearly, they sent up an empty Saturn V rocket. In fact, I'll bet some of the upper stage didn't even have any fuel in it. I'll bet. And then they just let it stay up in orbit around Earth until it was time for the mission to end.
What about telescopes? Do you think someone would have saw that?
What?
A giant rocket in orbit on Earth.
Well, the rocket wasn't that giant.
It's pretty big. Have you seen a rocket?
Well, like, the Apollo capsule itself was not very large.
It didn't, yeah, but it was still pretty big.
Well, I'm sure some people use, well, you can see at the launch, at videos of the launch, people were using binoculars to see that, so the third stage might have actually had fuel in it, but rest assured, it did not get to the moon.
Well, how would they fake it then? Because to have technology like that, it
was filmed in Area 51 by Stanley Kubrick, who made the film 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's a really good film, actually. I highly recommend you see that. But it had lots of scenes in space, and they were very realistic. So realistic, in fact, that NASA contacted him and forced him to work on the moon landing.
What was NASA work for again?
The government.
It was the government controlled by?
The Illuminati.
Alright, so you're saying they happen to have millions of dollars to create technology decades ahead of their time to try to fake something that was never
decades ahead of their time?
You know the way the light shines in those photos, right? It's a beam.
We can clearly see.
No, it goes this way. Kind of, you see the shadows.
If you look at everything, you can clearly see the shadows are pointing different directions. You know what that proves? That the light source was very close.
No, it goes in the same direction.
Now remind me again. How far away is the sun supposedly from Earth?
1 AU,
which is 93 million miles. So if you've seen how close,
and I also get sunlight almost the exact same way.
They're pointing different directions.
No, it's in order to replicate that, you need thousands and thousands of lasers that create light to go in the same way it does in the photos and video. In order to do that, they didn't even have lasers. They literally didn't even have lasers.
You would just need one light really close to the set.
Really? So you're saying if I go and test that at home, take a picture, it'll be exactly like that?
Yes.
What if I told you hundreds of people already tested that?
Well, you see, they had advanced technology, but they wouldn't use it to help humanity. They would use it to trick humanity. They did have some advanced technology from the aliens.
Wait, we got technology from the aliens?
Yeah. We confiscated it from, crashed UFOs. Roswell, stuff like that.
Alright, okay, we gotta go.